You're listening to Rockin' Country Radio, today's hottest country and more. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to Rockin' Country Radio. It is Monday. It's a new week, and this is another edition of this show that we like to dedicate to country music independent artists everywhere, where we feature the music and interviews of indie artists. And we are very excited to be back with you. It is Monday, but hopefully it's been a happy Monday for all of you out there, and you had an awesome weekend. I know we did. Over the weekend, we had a great show on Saturday night. Our Highway Underground was 4 hours long, and it was packed full of great music from a lot of country indies that are up and coming and really starting to make some noise as their songs are getting featured and played all over the place. So we want to welcome you in. Thank you so much for being here this evening. And if you're brand new to our show, welcome aboard. We're glad to have you here as well. And being new to our show, you picked a great night to listen in for the first time, because our guest tonight you're going to love. I'm very excited to speak with him because he has quickly become one of my favorite artists so far this year, and kind of new to me. I discovered him a couple months back, really came to love his music. He's Canadian, and one thing I'm finding, and by the way, I'm waiting for him to call in, and I'll tell you who he is in just a few moments, but one thing that I'm finding about Canadian artists as I'm discovering more and more country indies that are just really making their mark in Nashville and around the country, Canadian country artists are just plenty, let me tell you, and they are some incredibly talented people, and some of the best music I've heard is coming out of Canada, and a lot of them are starting to break into the U.S. markets, which I think is awesome, because they definitely need to be heard, and definitely their music is a great fit for the country music scene as it is currently, and so I love the fact that we're mixing it in, and it's relevant, and it's getting the airplay. As we're waiting for our guest is from Canada, so he is going to be calling in from Canada. So while we're waiting to get him on the line, I do want to give you a little bit of background on him, because if you've never heard of him, you're going to get to meet him tonight and learn a little bit about who he is, his musical style. We'll be playing a couple of songs of his at the end of the show. But he has an infectious blend of country and rock, and it has really been blazing a trail this past summer. He has been traveling around and playing a lot of shows. He's country by definition, but he's fueled by rock and roll, and he's infected with a watermelon-sized helping of hope, love, and salvation. And he's the kind of guy you have on your side when the going gets tough in this world, and he's got a brand new album out one of these days, and I tell you, it's definitely one that you want to have in your collection for sure. He is a CMAO nominee in several categories, including Male Artist and Album of the Year. And the album, One of These Days, features the title cut, One of These Days, which puts life back in the swing of things, driven by a swirling blast of fabulous melodies that gives you a country rush right from the get-go. And I tell you, it is a great, great song, which you will be hearing a little bit later in the program. We have been featuring his song Alcohol Abuse, which is also on the album One of These Days, and he's got the official video out for that right now. So if you once our show wraps tonight, go over to YouTube and check it out. It is awesome, and he is incredibly awesome. And so, as I said, we were trying to get a hold of him earlier, but we were having some difficulty trying to call out. I don't know if it's Canada or what, but we are definitely trying to get him online. So while we're waiting, I want to go ahead and play one of the cuts off of the album. This is called I'll Be Your Whiskey.
When my doorbell rang at 2 a.m., I knew he broke your heart again, and I'm getting tired of seeing you cry. If it's the jack there in your hand says you need a drinking friend again, but I've got something better this time. Baby, come on over here, let me dry your tears. I can take your pain away tonight. I'll be your whiskey. Lay that bottle down and just kiss me. If you're looking to forget him completely, baby, I love to be the one who gets you tipsy. I'll be your whiskey. Whiskey wears off awful quick, it's just a temporary fix, and it leaves you feeling worse than before. But my love doesn't work that way, yeah. Might age, but it won't fade, and you knew that when you walked through my door. Baby, come on over here, I can make them disappear for tonight and the rest of your life. I'll be your whiskey. Lay that bottle down and just kiss me. If you're looking to forget him completely, baby, I love to be the one who gets you tipsy. I'll be your whiskey. Oh, believe me, baby, I love to be the one who gets you tipsy. I'll be your whiskey. I'll be your whiskey, baby.
That was I'll Be Your Whiskey from Marshall Dane, and that is off of his latest release. And I tell you, if you have not picked that up, you need to go to iTunes and do so. And we'll be playing two more cuts off of that album before we wrap. But I am very excited. We have him on the line, Mr. Marshall Dane. Hello, Marshall.
Hey, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I am fantastic.
Well, so are we, and thank you so very much for taking time out of your busy schedule to be on the show this evening. I know you have been incredibly busy, so to give us any of your time at all is most appreciated.
Hey, right on. My pleasure.
Well, talking right out of the gate, I want to kind of congratulate you on the success of one of these days, because early indications are that the album is just getting major rave reviews. What kind of feedback are you hearing?
You know what? We've had probably some of the most exciting and greatest feedback yet. It's only our second record, but this is our first time taking it south of the Canadian border into the beautiful U.S. of A, and seeing what our brothers and sisters, in the States think about the music. So we've had a really a complete brand new experience with this album, and how, the kind of awareness, I guess, or promotion and publicity that it's been getting, because people seem to be enjoying it, and we're glad that whatever we're making, people are liking.
Well, definitely it's a great fit for the country music scene here in the U.S. And I was just telling the listeners before you came on the line that some of the best country music that I'm hearing right now is coming out of Canada. And, you guys, I don't know, your water must be different up there, but you're just so chock full of talent. And it's just amazing. And so I'm excited that a lot of your music is getting into the U.S. mainstream country market, and people here are hearing it because it needs to be heard.
Well, there's, ever since, we've had the ability to control how much we put out there via whether it be social media or just the ease of access to the internet from devices and locations these days has really put that ability to have your music played back into the hands of the listener, the creators. You know, you can make sure it gets out there, and there's some great music all over the planet, and it's nice that we get to share it. And it's, you know, what's cool is that there's, like you're saying, there's something in the water. Well, yeah, it's a little bit different. It's got that Canadian flair, just like when we perform and play for American audiences. It's like, oh, what a great crowd! Like, they're music lovers. Just they got a slightly different way of everybody shows it or expresses it a little differently, and it's such a nice change for the palate, and you know, to change up your audience just as much as you guys, you know, as people would like to change up their music. You know,
yeah.
It's cool.
Oh, definitely. And you know, and I'm a little biased because I do a country radio show, but I will say that here in the States, I think country music just prevails. There are, in my local market here in North Carolina where I live, you know, there are more country music stations, terrestrial mainstream stations, than there are any other genre of music. And it just goes to show you how powerful, you know, and how strong country music is. And the fans are incredibly loyal, and they will embrace any and all because they love it so. And I think that's awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely it's a great community. I mean, I remember some of my first experiences going to country music award shows and stuff like that, and you got to actually hang out with the community of people that associate, you know, with this genre of music. And I often feel that my poor friends in the rock and roll world are missing out because they don't get the same experience, you know, that we get in this country world. It's such a friendly, hospitable, you know, kind of environment. It's a real sharing, kind of giving vibe, so it's cool.
Oh, yeah, definitely. The camaraderie is just through the roof, undoubtedly. And I love how, you know, so many artists are, it's not like a competition. It's very much, you know, everybody's collaborating with everybody, it seems, and putting out some really great stuff, and fans are eating it up. You know, it's really a good thing. Now, I know earlier this year you were on a Canadian radio tour for one of these days as you launched your album, and that you were, you know, going to come into the U.S. and do a radio tour. And how has that been going for you?
Oh, it was great. That really took up our springtime. We had just shot our video for alcohol abuse in March, and then, boom, we went on the road for almost 2 months. We went across to the west coast of Canada, all through Ontario, and then out to the west, province by province, stop by stop. And it was very long hours, you know, but it was cool. Like, I was doing radio interviews such as, you know, similar to this, where I'd be in the middle of the Rockies, and I'd have to pull over and find 2 bars of reception instead of the 0 bars that we've had for the last 3 hours, and find a little space in between 2 mountains as it's snowing and trucks are going by. You know, or we started off our American radio tour with a 15-hour drive and ended it with a 14-hour drive, and in between was an average of about 6 to 8 hours a day of driving. So it's a hard road, but it was successful. It was wonderful. It was brilliant to do our Western Canadian tour the way we did. We actually ended up going across on a train all the way back from Vancouver, Canada to Ontario, Canada. And we went into the U.S. of A. We ended up, what was our thing there? Oh, it was how beautiful the stations. I mean, I couldn't believe every station that let us in to play music are so welcoming with open arms, and they're so, like, even like the secondary and tertiary market stations were so up to date, and it was such an appreciated, I don't know what we call it, it was just an appreciated form of expression that was very noticeably different than in Canada. Canada, we have it too, but again, it's just how it's expressed is differently. And boy, I love our American brothers and sisters are so kind.
Well, thank you for saying that. And we feel the same about Canadians. We think you guys are great. And, well, as you've traveled across the U.S., have you had a particular place that you just fell in love with? I mean, besides Nashville, obviously. But I mean, there's just so many different places to see here as you go from coast to coast, almost.
Yeah, there's a bunch of places that I've really enjoyed. I mean, I haven't been all over the states, so I can't say anything about Las Vegas, or I've never been to Texas, so I can't say anything about that. I don't think I've ever been to Dallas, but I've been to, for instance, North Carolina, and I love North Carolina. I think it is so green and beautiful and just such a gorgeous state. I love going to Tennessee. I really enjoy going to Nashville. I like the vibe of the music scene. I mean, I don't know if I'd ever end up living there, but I enjoy it as a visit. I love New York as a visit. I have only been there once, and I thought that was one cool little town. And by little, I mean big. So, I mean, there's lots of places. I really enjoyed California, too. I mean, I wasn't as much into the music, thing there. There wasn't much country going on, but I loved it as a place. It was pretty.
And now I'm curious. You piqued my curiosity. Where in North Carolina did you actually stop as you were traveling through?
I'm going to try and think of the name of the place because we would have just. I'm wondering if we would have slept overnight in North Carolina or not.
Well, I'll throw out some towns and see if they ring a bell. Charlotte, perhaps?
Yes, of course.
Charlotte. Okay.
Of course we went through Charlotte, yeah.
That's one of the biggest cities in North Carolina. It would have either been there or Raleigh-Durham. Raleigh is our state capital, but it's probably as big as Charlotte, if not bigger. And those are the two big metropolises, if you will. So, yeah, I mean, that's about an hour and a half from where I'm located, maybe 2 hours on a long drive, but if traffic is really slow. But yeah, that's so cool that you got to come through here. And the neat thing about our state, if when you're back in the States and if you ever do a U.S. tour, the neat thing is we have the mountains on one side and we have the coast on the other. And in the central part of the state, you're 3 hours from either. So it really makes for a nice day trip, either or. Take your pick. So I'm glad you got here. I hope you get here again. Now,
so beautiful.
The video for alcohol abuse, I have to tell you, it looked like you guys had a blast making that.
That was a lot of fun from the creation of the concept. My drummer, one of his best friends that became one of my good friends throughout the process, and myself, the three of us sat down and really brainstormed this idea of how we wanted to make characters out of the mixed drinks names. We thought they sounded like little mafia names, like, hey, my name's Highball, forget about it.
Exactly.
Something like that. We thought, hey, that's Bloody Mary. She's she's like Kill Bill or something like that. We thought, well, who is she? So we came up with these ideas, and it was a great process, just coming up with it and then having it executed. Like the day we saw our first draft, we were on the road in the west coast of Canada on our radio tour, and we were nervous as heck to see the first cut of our project, and it was exactly what we had asked for and what we had envisioned and what we had very accurately, step by step, frame by frame, second by second, described what we wanted. So we had a very accurate idea of what we thought we were going to get, and we were exceptionally happy that we did. But on top of that, we also had all our friends. We just kind of put it out there on social media, and people came out and joined us for the day. And although I'm pretty sure they all thought we were going to have an open bar during a video shoot for alcohol abuse, there wasn't a single consumption of alcohol. It was all just, placing of stuff and making mixed drinks look certain colors, with water. It was a lot of fun, though, to have amateur folk really, having a great time acting out their parts. So
I tell you,
cool.
You made it look realistic, and I heard the song first initially, and then when I saw the video, the next time I heard the song, I was thinking about those characters. It was not the same. The song was like it came to life when I saw the video, and so it's really a cool concept the way that was brainstormed to come to life. It was hilarious too, but of course you jamming in it, and you and your band, you guys were rocking, and it just all came together so well. So I have to ask you, is there going to be a forthcoming video for either I'll Be Your Whiskey or One of These Days?
Well, we ended up making a small little personal video for One of These Days back in when we first released the record in early 2013. And what we did there was we just took some live footage of the video release parties and put that together. There's definitely part of our plan right now is to get a video together for whatever the next single is, and we're pretty sure we're going to go with Whiskey. And if that works out as planned, then we will have a video lined up for that one too. We'll probably try and do it on a maybe a little less budget than the Alcohol Abuse. I don't know how much it looks like, but that was a little more expensive of an indie video. It cost a little bit more to pull that off. So we'll have to try and play with that because money is always an object.
Oh, yeah, that is so true.
That's the cool thing about it. That's how we roll. That's how we try and make it work.
Well, I have to tell you, though, for what you put into Alcohol Abuse, it came out as a very professional production. It looked great, and from a viewership perspective, it was well done, and I don't think it could have turned out any better if you'd have spent millions making it. So it was just great effort all the way around. So we look forward to the next one for sure. Now I have to ask you, because I know you probably get this question a lot, but on the current album, do you have a particular song that you just love above all others, or one in particular that you enjoy performing the most?
It's funny because they're all your favorite babies, but there is one song that sticks out in my mind as a song that when I specifically wrote it, it had an innocence. It had, instead of maybe showcasing some of the life experiences that, I've gone through, like How Do I Get There from Her, and I'll Be Your Whiskey, those kind of songs, or Not Today, or One of These Days. This one particular had a different kind of innocence. I had just lost a friend in a tragic accident, and I thought, I want to write a song as if, that would really make a girl smile, would really have made her smile. What kind of things would you want to say to a girl that you could say to somebody just to put, not just to put that smile on her face, but in such a way that it would put that smile on her face. And so that started the idea of a song called Till I Get to You. And it starts off, pardon me, I've never seen a girl more beautiful, and I would have said it sooner, but I tried to play it cool. Can I buy you a drink? Can I ask you to dance real slow? What could happen tonight? Who knows? And it was just very light and casually innocent, I can imagine. It's like that commercial, those old Alberto commercials or whatever it was, that used to say, if a man walks up to you on the street and hands you flowers, that's Alberto. And so if a guy walks up to you and just says, hey, listen, I'm not trying to be creepy. I just want to tell you, I've never seen a girl more beautiful than you. And if I could buy you a drink, that'd be awesome. That kind of thing, a real soft, simple approach. And so that song really stands out for me on the record. It seems to have that, again, just that casual innocence.
Now, see, and you might have also embarked on another thing that you don't even realize. But, guys are going to hear this song, and they're going to go, I'm going to go try this.
Yeah.
And you're going to get some feedback on that, probably, like, hey, it worked. Or you may hear from some females going, he tried it on me, and now we're married, or we're getting married. I mean, you just never know where a song is going to lead and the impact it's going to have. And I love that concept because, and in truth, from a female perspective, that I think is a very approachable. I mean, if a guy came up to me and approached me that way, I would not feel like, oh, you're creepy and you're stalking me. Get away. So
you should have heard the first couple lyrics I came up with.
Very welcoming, for sure. So that's great. I mean, that's a testament to the wonderful songwriter that you are. I mean, lyrically, your music, I love it. I mean, it just has a great flow to it. The songs that are driving edge, they're driving edge, but those that have more of a tender side to them really do express a great message. And so, I love your music. It's just incredible, and that's why I'm so excited that now it's getting into the U.S. markets and more people are beginning to hear it because it needs to be heard. It's some really awesome stuff.
Right on. Thanks kindly for those sweet words.
Oh, you're very welcome. Now, what's coming up for you? Because I know you've been on the road quite a bit. Where are you going to be playing in the near future, and when?
All right. Well, I'll do my little MarshallDane.com plug there because
there you go.
My tour schedule on my website is hosting everything that we've got going on because there's so much to list. Basically, it's an Ontario festival summer for us. We've done some stuff out and about of Ontario, but for the most part, it's Ontario-based, especially this month. So, any of your listeners that may happen to be crossing into Canada for any summer holidays and or folks in the, along the border regions, we'll be playing. We've got, what day is today? August 6th, I think, August 4th, something like that. And we're already getting ready for, we've got another 6 days in a row this week of performances. We had 6 days in a row last week. We're doing 7 days at the big Canadian National Exhibition. So, all that can be found on our website. Unfortunately, we don't have any U.S. tour scheduling at the moment, but we do have so many plans for a new album coming out next year, another single going to radio early or later this year, and that'll all lead to more, videos, more promotion, and more dates being added in places.
Oh, yeah, and we've got to get you into the U.S. so you can come to the Carolinas and play here. It's a great place to play and lots of great venues to be in. Not to mention we have, major stadiums and arenas that house a lot of country tours throughout the summer into early fall. So, we need to get you on some of those tickets, too. That would be awesome. People would love you. I mean, I know they love you in Canada, but I have no doubt they would here as well. And I was just now looking on your site, and I mean, you've got shows kind of almost back to back all the way through the end of September, and that's a great problem to have, by the way. So, yeah,
it's nice to be busy.
Oh yeah, that means you're doing something right. Well, I know that you're slam busy, and I don't want to hold you any longer. But thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us this evening, and we definitely look forward to what's to come from you, and look forward to 2015 because I think that's going to be a great year for you as well. So, best of luck to you as you continue forward.
Dawn, thanks so much for your time tonight, and it was really my pleasure to join you. Let's chat again in the future. There will be lots of stuff going on and lots we can always talk about.
Oh, most definitely, and we will continue to do everything we can to promote your music here so it can be heard by our listening audience and around the world. So thank you so much for your time and for such great music.
Hey, it's my pleasure, and thanks to your listeners, thanks to your crew that's working back at the station there. And for any of your listeners, if they're out there on Twitter, find me out there. It's just Marshall Dane. Facebook, it's Marshall Dane Music. And, of course, my website, marshalldane.com, will host all our links to everything else, like Instagram and YouTube. And, it'd be great to make connections out there.
All right. Well, thank you so very much, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Sounds good. You too now.
All right. Talk soon.
Ciao.
Bye. Marshall Dane, ladies and gentlemen, awesome. And as you just heard him say, you can find him at marshalldane.com, and I'm telling you, that is the place to go. That is the go-to place to find out any and everything, especially if you are in Canada. As he said, if you're going to be going up, crossing the border over into Canada this summer into the fall, you definitely want to catch him because there's a pretty good chance that you will. He is pretty much all over Canada playing shows through September 30th. So, and definitely we're excited that he may be putting together a U.S. tour and getting here next year, and we definitely will have that information available as it becomes available. So we want to thank him for being our guest this evening. And as we close our show, we want to play a couple cuts off of his latest album, One of These Days. At the top of the hour, you heard I'll Be Your Whiskey, which very well could be the next single release off of that. But we're going to close tonight with his latest single, Alcohol Abuse, followed by another great cut off of the album, which I absolutely love, called One of These Days, the title cut. For Rockin' Country Radio, I'm your host, DJ Delta Dawn, wishing all of you a wonderful evening. We'll be back here on Wednesday evening. No show tomorrow night. Wednesday evening, 7:30 p.m. with another great indie artist. And until then, have a great week, and we'll see you back then. Take care all. Good night, and God bless.
Alcohol abuse, shameful waste of precious booze. The chicken wire in front of my face. Jack Daniels was falling like a rain on the face. Then a 5 fuzzy navel, cooking cherry mud, slide margarita, whiskey sour, straight tequila, screwdriver, hurricane, Shirley Temple down the drain. Every drop we lose is alcohol abuse. Well, the trouble escalated as the cops showed up. They busted through the doors, pulled out their handcuffs. Said, boys, you need some help, a little rehabilitation. We're running you in for misappropriation. Alcohol abuse, shameful waste of precious booze. Ain't no pain, whatever you choose. Oh, Michelob, Anheuser, Miller Lite, Budweiser, Newcastle, Harpoon, Lone Star, Blue Moon, Dos, Sticky, Amstel, Samuel Adams, gone to hell. Every drop we lose is alcohol abuse. Hey, yeah, yeah. Watch out. Here we come now. Oh, alcohol abuse, shameful waste of precious booze. Ain't no pain, whatever you choose. Highball, Bloody Mary, fuzzy navel, cooking cherry mud, slide margarita, whiskey sour, straight tequila, screwdriver, hurricane, Shirley Temple down the drain. Every drop we lose is alcohol abuse. Alright. Michelob, Anheuser, Miller Lite, Budweiser, Newcastle, Harpoon, Lone Star, Blue Moon, Dos, Sticky, Amstel, Samuel Adams, gone to hell. Highball, Bloody Mary, fuzzy navel, cooking cherry mud, slide margarita, whiskey sour, straight tequila, screwdriver, hurricane, Shirley Temple down the drain. With every drop we lose, it's alcohol abuse. Every drop we lose, is alcohol abuse. Come on, girl. Girl, we always say someday when it comes to leaving this town. It's always off in the future. It never seems to come around. I've got a few dollars saved up, and I've got the windows rolled down. I've got a tank full of dreams, and they're telling me there's no better time than now. This is one of these days we've been waiting for. So pack your suitcase, it's getting late. I don't wanna wait anymore. Baby, this is our chance to make our mistake. If there ever was a time of these days we've been waiting for. So pack your suitcase, it's getting late. I don't wanna wait anymore. Baby, take a time chance to make our escape. Yeah, if you ever want to tell me nothing on this earth could stand in our way, this is one of these days. One of these days. Oh, baby, 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 please, this is one of these days. Oh, yeah. I don't wanna wait anymore. Oh, yeah. Will we always say someday?
Check out Rockin' Country Radio on the web. Find us at rockincountryradio.com, on Twitter at rockin_CTRY, and on Facebook at Rockin' Country Radio.